Welcome back to the shop, guys. Today's episode is going to be on Derek's golf cart. You might know Derek because he's the one who installed this lift with me. He helped me bring it in through the doorway with his backhoe. So his golf cart, which he uses around the property, because he's got a large yard, he's got, I think, acres of land, isn't starting, or if it does start apparently, but it takes forever. So anyways, let's get right into it, see if we can fix it together. All right, guys, well, truth be told, I am not a golfer. I don't golf regularly. I don't know much about these golf carts. Not to say that I've never golfed, because I do from time to time go out with my dad. At least we used to. His shoulder's not helping him out now, and I have used these exact golf carts, these club carts, but I don't know much more than that. So other than actually using one, I've never actually worked on them. So hopefully we can get this fixed, but first thing I want to do is I want to do my regular checks. I want to make sure that there's oil in here. And that engine looks like it's, oh yeah, see, actually the engine oil looks really clean on there. You see that? That doesn't look quite right. Oh, that's why. Okay, so I'm not, like I was just saying, I'm not a golf cart expert, but that doesn't seem right at all. So that might be something we need to look into. All right, so what else do we have here? Well, we got the battery. See, again, that's not even bolted down. I don't even know what that's supposed to be like that. How does the air filter look like? How does it even open? How do you open this? I can't get this open. Okay, well, I don't actually need to remove the cover. I think I can slide out the air filter element. I think. Oh, come on. Just take a look at it. Look at that. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Again, that's in good shape. So, you know, these are the basic checks you need to do. I mean, I may not be a golf cart expert. However, I feel very confident that because it's an internal combustion engine, we'll get it fixed up. So, I think the best thing to do now is to actually see what it's doing, because I actually don't really know. He actually drove it here, and he just said that once it gets warm, it doesn't like to start again. So it might actually start cold. All right, let's close this off. Let's turn the key on, see if this thing does anything. And as far as I remember, all you have to do is hit the go pedal. Okay. Well, that's not doing anything. Okay, there's a should start, but nothing's happening. Is this thing just dead? Are you supposed to have it in park first? Oh, come on. Seriously? All right, well, let's check for battery voltage. All right, you know what? I think it's just going to be easier to remove the seat here so we can actually get access to this. So let's go get a screwdriver. I don't think you have to remove that. Oh, you filming?
Yes.
So you are filming, okay.
Yeah.
See, I was about ready to take that off when you just have to, like, literally lift the seat off.
Oh.
That's much more gooder. Look at that. Gives us a whole bunch of space. Now, let's get our multimeter, which is over here, and see if we can rectify this. Yeah, I'm patenting that line, guys. It has to be mine. Rectify? Come on. It's funny. Okay, let's see. If we have 12.2 or more volts, I would say that we are probably good. Oh my God, almost 12.6. This is a wicked battery. Okay, so why is this not going? What's just all this wiring? I wonder if this got like a neutral safety switch, because this is your gear selector. Oh, there's power. That's reverse. That would be forward. Okay, let's put this aside. Maybe we're on to something?
Yeah, well, you just did the seat racer.
Yeah, I know. Now it's going to be hard to sit down and actually test this. We can probably just sit on the edge here. without hurting myself, hopefully. Hey, things are happening. Okay. Oh, you know what? That doesn't look right though. Look at this. I think I might have found the problem. It looks like there's a big electric motor on top here, and it's driving this belt. So maybe, okay, watch your fingers. I'm going to take my foot off. I'm going to turn the power off. I wonder if this belt is just loose. Because it looks like it's turning the primary, which then, in turn, starts the engine. But why? Okay, so there, I don't think there's a tensioner. Okay, maybe we'll have to remove this part to gain access to that. But let's see if we can get it to start. So that doesn't, you know what it's doing? It's just heating up the belt.
It's not even moving. Barely.
You know what this reminds me of? This entire engine? So this is a Kawasaki. So if you own a club car, or if you've ever driven a club car before, they are powered by Kawasaki motors. I'm a big fan of Kawasaki. I worked at a dealership for 3 or 4 years on Kawasaki products, and this reminds me a lot of a Mule motor, like this Mule 610s, the smaller one. So I wonder if the valves are just out of adjustment. But let's start with the basics. I want to see if I can tighten up that belt and see if we can get more tension and see if it'll turn over. Because right now it just seems like that engine is like locked right over. Oh, no, see, it's almost like when it goes on to compression, it goes. Oh, see, it bounces. And if we keep doing that, we're just going to burn that belt up. So, yeah, let's see if we can tension it up. Okay, so I want to get to this panel, but this is in the way, and it looks like this is just being held in with this hay wire or mechanics wire. Although I've never seen mechanics use this wire for this kind of repair. So, I don't know. Oh. Okay. That comes out that way. Okay, so what do we have here? Now we actually see the motor. And, you know what else I see? I see adjustments. So we have a nice little adjustment here, which we have plenty of room to go with. So it might just be something as simple as that. We're going to tighten that up, see how it does, but I am still going to check the valve clearance because I want to see if it's been an issue for a little while, because that's something people forget. Usually if it's a power sports engine, there's not too many engines I know of that would have a hydraulic lifter on them. Something like this is probably a rocker, a solid lifter. So if it's a solid lifter, you need to check your valve clearance from time to time. For example, like the old Big Bears, the old Yamahas, my newer Kawasaki, same thing. This is probably no different. The Mules are one of those bikes. So, yeah. Let's start by making the adjustment on the electric motor, seeing how that works, and we'll go from there. Because I think the other issue he was telling me is that it wouldn't shut off. So let's start with one thing. Let's get it running. Then we'll see if we can turn it off when you let go of the pedal. Because I think that's how that works. Okay, now I got the engine loose. So now let's see how much I can put pressure on that adjuster. Like how much tension I can put, I should say. Okay. I'm using the exhaust here. I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but oh, now I gotta get my hand in there. Oh man, how am I gonna do that? I think I got it. Get in there. Yeah. Okay. Does that work? Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Let's tighten it all up and see. I want to make sure it's really tight. Let's do the other ones, and then we'll see if it actually starts without spinning the belt. Okay, so the belt is tight. We got the power on. Let's see if it's going to slip. Oh, look at that. The problem is, right now, I don't know if it started or if it's the engine, because I got my foot off the brake, it just fired up like that? Seriously?
Try to go forward.
Hey! I don't know, was that running? Like, seriously?
Did it move?
Well, that's kind of cool. These are supposed to stop, like, is that all it was? You're kidding me. If that's all it was, that is like the slowest, or sorry, the shortest episode that we've had.
Can I take it for a ride?
You know what? If it works, yeah, we'll go around the yard. Okay, let me just check this again. Okay, it does not have a lot of power though. It doesn't even want to make out that hill. Yeah, this got like no power. Okay, so we're not quite done here. So let's, we got this. Oh, okay, so I guess if you give it a run. How do you shut it off now? I guess it just shuts off on its own, which I don't think it's supposed to. I think it's supposed to actually stop. Okay, we still got some work to do. So, I think we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna start by, the engine's not too hot, we just ran it for a few seconds here. You should be doing your valve adjustments cold. I think this would still be considered cold, it ran for like a minute. We're gonna check the valve adjustment, I'm gonna see if I can find any kind of specs online to see what it's supposed to be at. And then if that doesn't help, my next thing will be to check, see if the carburetor is dirty, because I know, it's a golf cart, it's not supposed to be like a rocket. However, it should have at least been able to go over that little bit of a bump there. So, okay, let's get some tools. All right, so I did find some information online saying that through a forum, I don't always trust these things. However, with my experience on the Kawasaki engines, it's pretty close. It says it's 4 to 6 thousandths of an inch for the valve clearance. And I'm going to do it the old traditional way, the same way I always do it. Rotate it on the top dead center. I'm going to put a screwdriver on top of the piston, nice and lightly, just to see if I'm on top dead center. And I also had to pull the plug for that. But then this is what was in there. I don't know if I talk about this a lot on my channel, but I'm a fan of brand name plugs. This is not a brand name plug. It's brand new. However, it's not brand name. So the parts diagram says it needs a BPR 5ES if you're running an NGK. So that's what's going to go back in there. Why am I such a fan of like brand name plugs? It's because I've seen so many issues. I've chased my tail on engines before where the only thing that I could do to correct it was to put a brand name plug in it. Sometimes it's just the resistance in these plugs, the heat ranges are not close enough. All of that kind of affects it when it's a small engine. If it's on your big V8, you may not see a difference, but on these little things, it seems to be that way. So let's get this to the top dead center. I'm gonna go in the middle of the range. I'm gonna go at 5 thousandths for both, and we're gonna see. Okay, so that one's not that bad. Could use a slight adjustment there on the intake. What about the exhaust? The exhaust is okay too. So we're gonna just tweak this one ever so slightly, because when these valves open up, or heat up I should say, usually the stem expands and then that gap would close up, meaning that you don't have as much clearance. So you want to have enough clearance so the valve fully seats and you get full power. So let's make that adjustment. Okay, so this lash adjuster, normally everything on these things is like a 10 millimeter. And you know, I always look around for all these nooks and crannies because you never know when you might find a 10 millimeter. But this is actually a 9 millimeter. So if you guys are, it's a mechanical joke saying that you always lose your 10 millimeter wrench or your 10 millimeter socket because it's the most commonly used. I'm happy with that. So let's button it up and see if it made a difference. We got a new brand name plug in there. Valve clearance is done. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna have to move my light because I'm gonna probably hit the pedal.
Ow.
Just like that. Like, seriously? Now my only concern with this is I thought they used to shut off. Maybe you have to turn the key off? Okay, so somehow it's not grounding out properly. Because that should have just... Okay, that's not... I don't like that. I don't like that. Why is that like that? This thing is weird. Okay. I don't have my foot on the pedal, guys. Like, why is that? That should not be starting. That's kind of dangerous. Oh, this video just got longer, didn't it? Please, don't do it again. Okay, that was weird. What was that? Oh, I don't like that. This thing is like possessed or something. Now, I wonder if it's just because they have the idle speed turned right up. Because sometimes there's no idle speed on these things, right? If it's supposed to just stop, we're just going to dial it back and see what happens. 1. I'm counting my turns just in case I have to bring it back. And that's again, guys, that's something I'm going to put out there as a suggestion or a tip. Because if you're working on something you're not super familiar with, count your turns, mark your hardware. You know, if you're taking a whole bunch of stuff apart, try and take pictures or do the order, because that way there, it just makes your life so much simpler when you go to put it back together. And you're not stuck with extra parts. There's usually never extra parts. All right, let's try it one more time. Oh, gotta turn the key on first. Oh, what the hell? Okay, my foot wasn't on the gas. I don't like that. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think this is sticking. And yeah, see, that's not dying. That is. I think that this... Okay, let's turn it off. I think this switch... Because I took this apart to look. I think this switch is sticking. So maybe a little bit of a cleanup there.
Oh, we need to start. Way to go.
Oh, did I just break it?
Yes.
Oh wait, no. It's not in gear. This thing is... For something that's supposed to be super easy to just jump on and drive, it's kind of complicated.
The controls are ghost stopping part.
I know. Okay. Yeah, if I push on this, it just... Okay. Let's keep going that direction because it seems to be getting better.
Told you, I need to start now. You just screwed it up.
No, that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to let go of the pedal and it stops.
But
You hit the... No, you hit the pedal. All the golf carts I've used, okay, I might be wrong, but all the golf carts I've used, which is probably like 3, 2 different styles. One was 2 of them were club cars, and then one of them was a Yamaha. You would hit the pedal, the engine starts, you drive to your next hole, which for me was like 6 feet away, because that's as far as I can hit the ball. And then you put it in park, you kick the ball, because it's as I could actually get it further with my foot. And then you hit the pedal on go, and then you drive, it starts and drives again. Like, so this...
Wait, so that started. You have
This-
to put your foot on the pedal.
Yeah, so then you drive.
Why is it like that?
But it just seems to me like, right now, like it's working the way it should, but look at all this free play in this pedal. Okay, let's turn this off so it doesn't start. And let's see how far this pedal has to go down to get power, or to get like any acceleration. Like, barely any acceleration there. You saw me when I was playing with it right here. Mm-hmm. This thing wants to go. But there's way too much free play. So I wonder where we can... I know that it's governed. I get that. But where does that all come from? Okay, there's another linkage back here. So where does this cable go?
Wait, pull on it again, I'll follow it.
Okay. So it's here. You see it?
Yep.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay.
Found it. This one.
It's that one. Okay, so that one is this one?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe we can, let's see here. So if we move this cable out, it would give it more power. More power! Always more power. Okay. So I made an adjustment there. Let's see now, without starting it, if we get... That seems to be a little bit more, and it's going back to stop. But see, it's sticky here though. Like it's not... But there's a spring, however, I don't know if that spring is actually doing anything, because there should be a spring internally. Okay, so I've determined that it doesn't matter what I do here, it will not spring back to its full stop position on the butterfly here. So we've gotten rid of the free play. There was a spring that was added probably to help that go to the stop position. But what it was doing instead, it was actually removing a lot of the throttle power from the engine. So it actually probably wasn't making much power, which is probably why it wouldn't go over that little bump. So I'm thinking maybe internally the carburetor's dirty, because look at all the crud on the outside of it. So let's remove the carburetor. We'll do a quick clean of it. I mean, look at how crusty this outside of the carburetor is. The inside is not so bad, but I think I might have found the problem. So there's a spring right here, right guys? You guys can see that. And if you look at, if I separate it, the way it's hooked up, this spring, the way it's set up, it's supposed to completely close the throttle or the butterfly in order for that to happen. However, it's binding against itself right at the end. See how it's springing back? Because it's, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm talking about, but it binds against itself. So I'm going to try and flip the spring to a different orientation and see if it's actually going to put tension at the end where it needs to be, because right now it's working after it's off of idle, or I'm going to call it stop. If that doesn't work well, then maybe we're going to have to try and figure out some kind of a kill switch so that he can turn it off. But yeah, let's just give it a quick clean on the bench. And just like that, I cleaned the carburetor. I know I didn't show you the inside details of that. I've got plenty of videos showing what the carburetor's like. And this one here is really no different. There's actually only one jet in here. Really simple. It's got the air jet on top. But I did flip the spring around, and I had to bend the tab a little bit on the end of it. But check it out. Now, if I go like this, it actually flings right back into a completely closed position. Now, my guess on these engines is it does exactly that. It just kind of chokes it off for air. And then if there's no air, there's no combustion, meaning the engine's going to stop. So I hope I'm right, because otherwise, hey, look how clean this carburetor is. Inside, it wasn't really that bad. So let's put it back on and see if it makes a difference. Okay, so let's see if we can get this carburetor filled up, because it's completely dry, right? So I don't think that by me hitting the pedal right now, it's actually going to start. Mind you, well, look at that. We can actually see fuel kind of flowing into the pump. So maybe it's actually filling up the carburetor. Okay, well, let's try it. And it stopped. It stopped. There's no power though. Oh. Okay. I think it's working the way it should. Or am I just wrong about that, guys? Oh yeah. Drive. So that's the engine running right there. And it stops. Yeah. I think we fixed it. I think we fixed it. We rectified it. I know, it's so cheesy, but it's going on my shirt. I gotta have to put it down here somewhere. Part of the logo. I don't know. Okay, because we still have some light outside. You said you wanted to go for a ride.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's put it back together. We don't need to put the back part here, but let's put the seat back in. Couple things here and there that I think I might have forgotten. We'll make sure that it's obviously all there, tightened up, and then we'll go see if we can drive around the yard.
Okay.
See if this thing actually works now, because I brought it outside. It seems to work good. It only ran for like 10 seconds though, so. Oh Jesus, this thing's going. I wonder if it'll actually let us go on the grass. I don't know if it's, my path is narrow enough.
You have like a lot more room over here.
Really? Oh, look at this. We can go drive it on the grass.
Yeah,
you good?
Can.
Nice. I can see why people like these. These are fun. I never thought I'd be driving a golf cart on my own grass. This is so fun. Yeah, this thing's wicked. You were telling me it had no power, but this thing goes. Look at this. This is cool. Okay, now, the question is though, if I let go of the pedal and I stop, will the engine stop? And it stops. Will it start again? Just like butter. Look at this. This might make me a golfer after all. I don't know. I'm not going to turn into a golfer because I fixed a golf cart. But I am pretty impressed that it actually works as good as I thought it should.
It goes so fast.
I know, right? This is actually pretty cool. I mean, it goes fast because it's all relative. I mean, we're close to everything around the house here. So on a golf course, I'm sure it's probably not very fast. But this thing is pretty cool. We're just doing circles and I like it. Well, that's awesome. Well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you guys learned a little bit of something. We did another video. We kind of fixed everything together, which I hope you enjoyed. So if you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And I will see you all in the next video. She just could not resist trying it. This thing actually is a lot of fun.